Blockchain Industry Briefing, April 2, 2026. Currently, blockchain technology stands at a critical intersection of pragmatic transformation and the reshaping of security architectures. The industry exhibits a complex dual trend of deep integration with traditional finance and a reflective reassessment of technical applications. In the financial sector, blockchain is accelerating its penetration into high-barrier private markets. Valinor, a startup founded by former Blackstone executives, recently secured $25 million in funding to bring private credit businesses on-chain. This move signifies that traditional financial elites are leveraging distributed ledger technology to enhance liquidity and transparency in private markets, driving trillions of dollars in assets into the decentralized finance (DeFi) ecosystem. However, widespread adoption is accompanied by profound skepticism and security challenges. Luis von Ahn, founder of Duolingo, publicly expressed radical views on the current state of blockchain, even suggesting to delete blockchain, reflecting concerns among some tech leaders regarding the technology's inefficiency in solving actual user pain points. Meanwhile, facing the looming threat of quantum computing, Google's research team emphasized the importance of responsible disclosure of quantum vulnerabilities, aiming to protect crypto assets from future computing power shocks through forward-looking security protocols. Regarding defense systems, artificial intelligence is becoming the core pillar of blockchain security. TRM Labs predicts that over the next 5 years, defensive AI will evolve into predictive blockchain intelligence, combating on-chain crime through real-time monitoring and automated intervention. On the regulatory front, a recent report from Hogan Lovells indicates that the integration of global payment systems with digital assets is driving further refinement of regulatory frameworks, with compliance becoming a prerequisite for the large-scale commercialization of blockchain technology. Overall, the blockchain industry in 2026 has moved past blind expansion. It is building a more resilient and rational ecosystem through financial industrialization, intelligent defense, and deep reflection on underlying value. Ethereum, ETH, Market Dynamics Briefing. Date April 2, 2026. Entering April 2026, Ethereum maintains a highly competitive strategic position in the cryptocurrency market. Despite fierce challenges from high-performance blockchains like Solana regarding transaction speed and costs, Ethereum remains a core asset with long-term upside potential due to its deep ecological heritage, high decentralized security, and leading advantage in institutional-grade applications. Market data shows that Ethereum's price maintained steady volatility between late March and early April. For beginners, Ethereum is often positioned as a balanced choice between the digital gold of Bitcoin and the high-growth pioneer of Solana, possessing both store-of-value attributes and robust smart contract utility. In summary, Ethereum is currently in a critical consolidation phase. While debates over the merits of different public chains persist, Ethereum's moat, characterized by developer activity and capital lockup, ensures its unshakable core position in the current diversified competitive landscape. Bitcoin Market Briefing, Geopolitics, Option Expirations, and Institutional Observation. On April 2, 2026, the Bitcoin market sits at a crossroads of macroeconomic turmoil and technical adjustment. Influenced by escalating tensions in the Middle East, safe haven sentiment has surged. While Bitcoin has demonstrated risk resilience surpassing traditional assets, it also faces significant selling pressure led by retail investors. At the institutional level, MicroStrategy ended its 13-week streak of continuous accumulation, with holdings stabilizing at 762,099 BTC. This move is viewed as a tactical wait-and-see approach by institutional investors during the current high-level volatility. Concurrently, the market faces pressure from $14 billion in expiring options, exacerbating short-term price fluctuations. Technical analysis suggests that after multiple retests of previous highs, Bitcoin's parabolic surge phase may be nearing its end, entering a more stable but complex period of consolidation. Nevertheless, renowned investor Grant Cardone remains aggressively bullish, arguing that based on its superior performance in conflict environments, Bitcoin's fair value should reach $280,000. Solana Ecosystem Briefing, April 2, 2026. Today, the Solana ecosystem became a market focus amid a mix of institutional progress and security challenges. In institutional applications, B2C2, a liquidity provider under Japanese financial giant SBI Holdings, announced it has officially designated Solana as its primary stablecoin network for institutional clients. This marks a further consolidation of Solana's status in handling large-scale financial settlements. Industry discussions suggest that for Solana to compete with traditional markets like Nasdaq, its core competitiveness no longer lies solely in speed, but in ecosystem maturity and stability. However, security remains a grave concern. Drift Protocol, a Solana-based decentralized exchange, confirmed a severe exploit resulting in the loss of approximately $285 million. The platform is currently in emergency response mode. Despite these security fluctuations, Solana's high performance keeps it alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum as a top consideration for novice investors. Briefing: Multi-dimensional influence of Satoshi Nakamoto. As of April 2, 2026, discussions surrounding Bitcoin founder Satoshi Nakamoto have extended from mere wealth holdings to cybersecurity defense and cross-industry cultural symbolism. On the technical security front, as Google warns that the timeline for quantum computing breakthroughs may accelerate, the quantum-resistant solutions proposed by Satoshi in 2010 are facing a 2026 stress test. The market is revisiting Satoshi's early warnings. He noted that if quantum threats approached, Bitcoin could upgrade via a soft fork to more secure cryptographic algorithms, such as Lamport signatures. In terms of wealth distribution, Satoshi remains the top holder of Bitcoin. Latest data shows that Satoshi's approximately 1.1 million BTC keeps him firmly at the top of the global crypto-rich list. This vast asset pool is not only a focus of market attention but also a key metric for measuring Bitcoin's decentralization and potential volatility risks. Furthermore, the Satoshi brand has permeated lifestyle consumption. Recently, a brand named after him launched a highly designed ultra-distressed Vans Era collaboration. This crossover reflects how Satoshi Nakamoto has evolved beyond technology into a cultural totem symbolizing rebellion and innovation. Briefing: Recent activities of Vitalik Buterin and Ethereum development. Recently, Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin has focused on personal privacy computing, protocol upgrades, and asset movements. In technical applications, Buterin is actively advocating for decentralized and private AI. He detailed a private and secure AI execution plan, proposing the migration of AI models from the cloud to personal desktops. This aims to ensure absolute user privacy and system security by eliminating reliance on centralized cloud services. Regarding governance, the community is debating the upcoming Hegota upgrade. While Buterin strongly supports a proposal to enhance user-friendliness and quantum resistance, the development team recently decided to deprioritize it in favor of fossil, fork-choice inclusion lists. This reflects the community's cautious balancing of long-term security versus short-term roadmaps. On the market side, as institutional demand for Ethereum ETFs grows, Buterin's recent sale of millions of dollars worth of ETH has drawn attention. While large sales are often sensitive signals, analysts suggest this may relate to personal financial planning or ongoing donations to ecosystem projects. Briefing: Pardon of Binance founder Changpeng Zhao, CZ, and recent updates. Recently, Changpeng Zhao, CZ, the founder of Binance, returned to the global spotlight. Multiple media outlets reported that U.S. President Trump has officially granted him a pardon. This bombshell news concludes CZ's previous legal disputes and is seen as a signal of thawing relations between the crypto industry and regulators. Upon regaining his freedom, CZ spoke out on cutting-edge technical challenges. Addressing concerns that quantum computing might threaten crypto security, CZ stated there is no need to panic. He noted that while quantum development requires the adoption of quantum-resistant tech, the current threat is manageable, and the community has sufficient time for defensive upgrades. Additionally, the ecosystem is undergoing economic model reforms. Decentralized exchanges like Aster Perps DX are shifting to staking-only token emission models, slashing monthly unlocks by 97% to achieve more sustainable tokenomics. Briefing: Coinbase strategic expansion and technical foresight. Under CEO Brian Armstrong, Coinbase has made significant progress in compliance, ecosystem building, and frontier research. In compliance, Coinbase received preliminary approval for a trust charter from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, OCC, a key step in deepening institutional custody services. Meanwhile, the company quickly resolved user feedback regarding prediction market push notifications, optimizing the user experience. Strategically, the Layer 2 network base announced a core strategy focusing on tokenized markets, stablecoin applications, and developer cultivation. Despite stock price fluctuations following Barclays maintaining a low price target, the company demonstrates strong long-term growth logic. In technology, Brian Armstrong is leading research into Bitcoin's quantum resistance. This highlights Coinbase's focus on underlying security protocols to ensure asset stability against future technological shifts. Briefing: comprehensive updates on Charlie Lee and related figures. Today's news covers various figures named Charlie or Lee across social memorials, sports, public facilities, and entertainment. In social memorials, the Post and Courier in South Carolina published an online tribute to Charles Lee Baker. In sports, the Loyola University Chicago Ramblers are heading south for the Mobile Bay Intercollegiate Golf Tournament. In public affairs, a popular boat ramp in Bokelia, Florida, adjusted its hours to open before sunrise following resident complaints to ease traffic. In entertainment, actress Jamie Lee Curtis responded to a controversy involving comments on Charlie Kirk, clarifying that her tearful statement was due to a mistranslation rather than her original intent. Additionally, media revisited the historical figure behind the classic song Stagger Lee, Missouri Pimp Lee Shelton, exploring how he became a cultural symbol for musicians like Nick Cave. Briefing: Gavin Wood and related domain updates. Today, the ecosystem related to Polkadot founder Gavin Wood shows a complex landscape. Technically, the Polkadot ecosystem continues to iterate, officially releasing the RevX beta to optimize transaction experiences. However, its native token, DOTI, has suffered severe market volatility, dropping to $1.24, a 97% decline from its all-time high, sparking debates over the ecosystem's long-term value. In non-technical areas, the name Gavin Wood appeared in lifestyle markets with the launch of a solid mango wood bar stool series. In Northern Ireland, a 15-acre woodland in Ballymoney reached the finals for Northern Ireland's Greatest Garden. Briefing: Ethereum ecosystem strategic pivot and market performance. As Q2 2026 begins, the ecosystem led by Joseph Lubin is at a strategic turning point. Facing competition where Solana's transaction volume has surpassed 10 billion while Ethereum remains at the 200 million level, the core team is counterattacking through deep technical and economic reforms. Ethereum plans to complete 2 major network upgrades in 2026 to optimize performance. To address liquidity fragmentation caused by Layer 2 solutions, developers launched the Economic Zone plan to unify coordination across rollups. In capital markets, Ethereum's safe haven status has strengthened. Analyst Tom Lee recently purchased over 71,000 ETH, defining it as a premium wartime store of value. This suggests Ethereum is evolving from a smart contract platform into a global strategic asset. Briefing: Jihan Wu's ventures and industry challenges. Recently, Bitdeer, Nasdaq, BTDR, the mining giant led by Jihan Wu, announced a major pivot, building a 180 MW AI data center in Norway. Designed to support NVIDIA's next-generation Vera Rubin architecture, the project has bolstered Bitdeer's stock price as the market cheers its diversification into high-performance computing, HPC. However, Bitmain, another company co-founded by Wu, is facing regulatory pressure. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren recently launched an inquiry into Bitmain regarding national security threats, focusing on its supply chain and compliance in the U.S. Briefing: Nick Szabo and the mystery of Bitcoin's origin. In the years of searching for Satoshi Nakamoto, computer scientist and cryptographer Nick Szabo remains a central figure. Despite his denials, multiple studies link him to Bitcoin's underlying logic. Key points: 1. BitGold pioneer Szabo proposed BitGold in 1998, featuring decentralized networks and POW, recognized as Bitcoin's direct theoretical predecessor. 2. Father of smart contracts *, his 1990s theories laid the groundwork for Ethereum and Bitcoin scripting. 3. Linguistic matching * textual analysis shows striking similarities between Szabo's writing and the Bitcoin white paper. 4. Technical background * is one of the few with the multidisciplinary expertise required. He had the capability to create Bitcoin. Briefing: Influence and vision of Andreas M. Antonopoulos. As of April 2026, Andreas M. Antonopoulos remains a premier thought leader, known as the Bitcoin Sherpa. His book Mastering Bitcoin remains a must-read in 2026. In a Wired interview, he famously stated, "Bitcoin isn't smooth jazz, it's punk rock, capturing its rebellious essence against traditional finance." Antonopoulos famously resigned from the Bitcoin Foundation over a lack of transparency, reinforcing his credibility as an independent voice. He continues to emphasize that Bitcoin's promise lies in financial inclusion for the unbanked rather than mere speculation.